What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Some Destiny 2 in the background, because why not? Destiny 2, it's good. I enjoy it. Hopefully I'll enjoy Call of Duty. I like Call of Duty. I want to play Call of Duty. I still could. Effectively I still could come play Call of Duty, but I'm not. I'm playing Destiny 2. Anyway, have you ever thought about the internet? Have you ever thought what it'd be like if we'd never ever had the internet? Now, I grew up in an age where there was no internet. I'm 44. There never used to be internet. It was a very different place then. People actually used to go out and do stuff. People used to socialise with other people. Now we have the internet. It's almost like people cannot survive without having it. Now, if I talk on a day-to-day basis, how many times do you check your phone? And when I say check your phone, I don't just mean for phone calls or text messages. Do you go on Facebook? Do you go on Twitter? Do you go on YouTube? Now, I say this to my girlfriend all the time. We'd be sitting there and she's constantly on her phone. All the time, she's on her phone. Either on Groupon or some other shit. It could be anything. You see people walking down the road and they've constantly got their phone in their hand. And the thing that annoys me the most is when I'm working and the boys I'm working with, they have to be on their phone all the time. Like I said, Facebook, YouTube, anything. It's like we're ruled by the internet. Maybe the internet was one of the worst things that was ever invented. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because obviously we didn't have the internet, we wouldn't have online gaming, we wouldn't be enjoying playing the games that we do on the internet, we wouldn't be able to enjoy watching people's videos on YouTube. So what I'm saying is, what would the world be like without the internet? What would we do? What would we do? I mean, I guess there would still be game consoles, because game consoles were around before there was internet. You know, I used to have an old Atari computer, Commodore 64, Commodore Amiga, Atari ST, all of those old kind of gaming systems that were around before that. Even the original PlayStation wasn't online. Even the first Xbox, it did have online eventually, but it didn't at the beginning, I don't think. You know, the Mega Drive, there was all those things. So consoles could still survive if there was no internet. What would people do? Imagine there might be smartphones, but what would be smart about it? There'd be nothing. There would be nothing. What would you do if there was no internet? Do you remember? I don't know if anyone's seen the episode of South Park where they lost internet. I don't know if anyone ever saw that, which was quite funny. And then Stan's dad went to California to try and find the internet because they lost it. Would that be a bit? What would it be like? Imagine if the internet just suddenly disappeared and you could only get it in one place. Would everyone just go to that place to try and get internet? I bet everyone would. I bet everyone would just go to that place to try and get internet. Because I don't think people would be able to survive now. I don't think the younger generation would be able to survive now with no internet. What would they do? What would they do? I don't think kids actually go out. Do kids still go out and play anymore? I mean, where we live, I don't see any kids ever going out and playing. No, we used to go out. I used to go on massive bike rides. I went on a bike ride from where I live to a beach. Me and my mate, just to go so we could go and play in the arcades. Do people still do that? People still go on bike rides, or is everyone just stuck indoors all the time, just playing their Xboxes or PlayStations? I mean, you see these videos on the internet, weirdly, talking about the internet. You see videos on the internet where parents destroy, like, kids, like, consoles or whatever, which I don't know whether any of them are actually true. But the basis of it is that I reckon a lot of kids are just stuck inside and they don't do anything. They don't experience anything. I think people have lost the ability to actually socialise with people now because they're so dependent on the internet and what comes with the internet. So that could be, like I said, gaming or just communicating with people, Twitter, Facebook. I really think that people just cannot survive anymore without having the internet. I think the world would crumble. If there was no internet, I think the world would actually crumble. I think people would be crying. They'd be crying, they wouldn't know what to do. Oh my god, there's no more internet, what am I going to do? I'm actually going to have to be able to talk to people. It's pretty sad, really. It's pretty sad. I mean, I'm grateful for the internet. You know, I grew up in an age where I didn't have a mobile phone when I was 11 years old. I didn't have my first mobile phone until I was 21 because they weren't around. They weren't around. I remember my dad having this mobile phone. I say mobile phone. It was a brick with a telephone on it and an actual proper cord, like you get the curly cord on a telephone. Not that you have them anymore because all telephones are wireless. But it'd be weird. It'd be weird now. There was enough. We had none of this. It's a strange thing to think about, and I don't know why I suddenly started thinking about it. But it just made me start thinking, what would happen? What would happen to everyone if there was no internet? I think that the younger generation would suffer the most. I think they would find it hard to exist without it. I mean, my niece, for example, another one, she cannot do without having her phone. You could be trying to sit there having a conversation with her and she'll just be on her phone all the time, which is kind of rude. And I think that happens with the younger generation. I think they're just really rude when it comes to having their smartphones. And I don't think kids 11, 12, 13, 14, even 15 should even have phones, even 16 maybe. What do they need a phone for? Maybe they should have a phone just for emergency and that's it. But they need it because it's like a trend. Everyone has to have the latest stuff. Everyone has to have the latest thing. And I think the internet is to blame for that, because without all that, nobody would be bothered about having a phone. You know, when I was younger, obviously phones weren't around, or when they were around, I wasn't really that bothered about having it. I mean, like, I have my phone now, and yes, I am like other people, and I do still go on it, and I would check Facebook and stuff like that. But primarily, I still use my phone as a phone to phone people. The only way I actually probably use the internet more is like when I have WhatsApp, like to communicate with my friends and family, because it's easier that way through WhatsApp. I mean, the weird thing, when I went on holiday, we flew with Norwegian Air, had internet on the plane. How weird is that? Internet on the plane. So not only can you just get internet regularly, you get internet when you're on the plane. It wasn't very good, it was pretty shit, but you still had internet on the plane. So I just think, without internet, the world would crumble. It would come to a standstill. Do you remember when, I don't know if anyone remembers, when we went from 1999 to 2000, and obviously all the computers were... Everyone thought that the computers would stop because it would get to 2000. They wouldn't be able to handle tripping from 1999 to 2000. That was a thing back then. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Obviously I do. I mean, that was 17 years ago, but you get what I'm saying. It was a weird time, because people didn't really understand it. People didn't know what was going to happen. Imagine now if there was a thing where they said the internet was going to shut, if it was no more. Imagine what would happen. People would not know what to do. I don't think anyone would not have any idea what to do. They'd be sitting there, but kids would be crying. They wouldn't be able to play Xbox. They wouldn't be able to play their PlayStations anymore online. Imagine all the games that they've got. They're all online. You have to play them online. Like Destiny 2, for example. You have to play it. It's always online. Need for Speed, always online. And they'd be like sitting there going, no, what am I going to do? I can't do it. I won't be able to cope anymore. Generally, I love having the internet and I enjoy it. But I enjoy it more for the gaming side of it than anything else. And obviously it's good to search for stuff, and you can book all your flights and all that kind of stuff is good. But imagine if it wasn't there. You'd actually have to go into a shop. And I think that's what's happened with a lot of like retailers, like in any town. And probably in your town you've noticed it, that the shops are disappearing. People don't go into town anymore. And when I do go into town, I fucking hate it. It's just full of pikeys where I live now in town. It's just full of pikeys. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. What do you reckon? What do you reckon would happen if we had no internet? What do you think would happen? Leave it down in the comments. As always, hit the like button. Really appreciate it. Really helps me out. And if you continue watching the video to the end, you'll see my hunter and see what he was at the time of recording this. Anyway, that's all I got, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy. Thanks as always.